The Me 109, 25 bucks. I believe it's the same cost as it's 20 or 25 bucks for USA Air. So yeah, like the Me, 25 bucks, you can get it. Same thing, same situation for USA. They have the same kind of airfield going on there. The Me, pretty much, if you're only pulling early game stuff, it's worth to get the Me. Get a couple of those, pump them out, get that recon plane. The problem is, see, with the USA, they can get the recon and the fighter jets out right away, and with the slow Germany research and production, that chance of you getting that recon plane and a couple of fighters out before those depot trucks get to the depots and to their destinations for buildings, the odds of you building that recon, then building those two fighters to get out there and start killing those depot trucks are very slim, unless the player is completely new and is like trying to take the center of the map right away. So the Me is not really an option for early game like the Pararush would be, because the Pararush, at least you can research it, done, you can send it on their way. This way you gotta research and then build back-to-back units, and then still you might not even get a chance to shoot anything, and then you're stuck with two planes that cost you 50 bucks and a recon plane that cost you 45 just to get. So yeah, like I said, not worth it. The ME-262, it's a $50 upgrade, and it's $30. This is actually a pretty good aircraft. It's very strong. It reminds me of the British jet fighter. I think it's fairly fast as well. Yeah, and this can help you take down AA and infantry, but sorry, like I said, just not worth it to me. There's no point. When your ground army is so strong, you need to spend every dollar you have in supplementing that ground army, so you can just straight steamroll that opponent in a 1v1. Germany's tanks are just too strong. Like 4 King Tigers and a couple of 88s and a bunch of heavy infantry can just walk in, especially if you're leading with the infantry, because the infantry will get shot, and then those 88s and those Kings will be shooting at the tanks as long as you can micro correctly. If you have those 88s and those tanks under control, and the infantry dies first, then those Kings and those 88s will take down those tanks, and then you can pretty much waltz right in. As obviously if you have some recon as well, then you waltz right in, take down that hidden those hidden units, and just straight up win 1v1, tank v tank. So yeah, aircraft, not a big fan. When it comes to the Germans, it just costs too much, and it's just too much production time wasted. The JU 87 fighter bomber, it's 20 bucks, and there's no research. The only problem is you need to research a recon plane. Again, there's another problem. The recon plane research pretty much screwed any chance of the Germans getting that quick cheese depot truck attack rush going on there. So you can use it. At least it's not like the States where you got to upgrade it, or research it, sorry, and then use it. It's more of a, if you need this unit right now and I have an airfield for some reason just sitting there, I guess if you have some extra money you can just throw an airfield on for those just in case moments. And it's pretty good. It does medium damage to tanks, and it can defend itself pretty well. So if you ever need to maybe take out an installation like a AT nest or something, pump a couple of those out for 40 bucks, 60 bucks for 3 of them, and take that nest out, or take out maybe a few medium tanks that are rolling by that you need to get rid of quickly to advance that push with your main ground force. The HE 111, same thing, just like a basic bomber, does good damage, and just pretty much you don't need to research bombers in this game, though. Like the Lancasters and the B-17s, I just don't see a need. If the plane does heavy damage, when it drops its payload, there's no point to get anything else. There's no point to upgrade the bombers. I could see if these bombers aren't taking out buildings in one shot, but if they are, there's no point to upgrade, or sorry, research to get the AR, which is next. So yeah, pretty good choice, just like any other old bomber. It just does its job, drops payload and goes home. The AR-234 Blitz, I believe this plane's actually super fast. I'm pretty sure, yeah, well, it's called Blitz Lightning. Apparently this thing is super fast, and it has max damage for buildings. I've seen these people use these things, and these things are insanely fast. They get to one end of the map to the other very quickly. And apparently it can do 2 bombing runs in one shot, which I didn't know about. Even in areas of guns, as it carries a light load, the Blitz can perform up to 2 bombing runs where others can only run 1. So that's actually a very, very, very good unit. So I'm take that back. AR-234 Blitz. I guess I'm not doing homework, like I said. I don't know much about the Germans. I just know what I play against, and I've never seen 1v1 player buy this jet bomber against me. I usually only see it in like 3v3s and 4v4s when this money's ridiculous and people are just spending it on any upgrade they can. So apparently the AR-50, or AR-50, I'm thinking of assault rifle, the AR-234 Blitz is worth the $50 upgrade. I would say this is a late game unit. $50 to research plus another $50 just to buy it. It does do 2 bombing runs, so it's actually equal to 2 lights. So it's good in that sense, and it's fast. But if you lose something like one of these bombers, it's really detrimental to your score. Especially in a tight game. Like if you start making 3 or 4 of these, and you run into a bunch of 88s, or you run into a bunch of 90s, or M19s, like those heavy armored and heavy powered AA guns, then you can find yourself in some trouble. But late game, when the enemy doesn't know what's going on, especially 2 bombing runs, that's very, very important part of that. Fast 2 bombing runs. At late game, if you got an airport sitting around doing nothing, you got some spare cash, throw up a radio silence on the left or right side, throw up a radio silence in your base. You don't need Blitz because it flies so fast. You could just radio silence, 2 radio silences in your base and on the left or right side. Hit 3 or 4 of these things, drop those bombing runs, and take them out. Onto the proto base, the most fun part of the German army, except for the tanks. The Puma. No, it is not a young lady in her 30s. It is a recon vehicle, and there's no real point to get this. I don't know why you would spend $30 to get recon when you can just go back to your barracks and get one of those recons. It only has an extra armor and maybe extra attack against infantry, but if you got the money sitting around and you want to spend the extra money, then go right ahead. I can't really stop you to get an extra to get a better recon truck. The Wirbelwind. Now this is where the units in Germany's army get interesting. The Wirbelwind is insanely good. It's $25 to upgrade, which is really worth it. It's very cheap, and it's $35 to get. And if you get a bunch of these in your army, when it comes time to get rid of, like I was saying, when it comes time to get rid of those 88s and supplement them or change them over to Jag Panthers, you need to get the Wirbelwinds.